Hello and welcome to the UAM E1 World Championship presented by PRF. It is round 3 of the all-electric powerboat racing series, and this weekend, what a backdrop. Croatia and Dubrovnik playing host to us. It's the E1 Dubrovnik GP presented by Adriatic Luxury Hotels, and we are ready to go with our qualifying races. Our teams have been out, they've done their time trials, and we get our first racing action of the weekend here on the Adriatic coastline. Some great action already, a lot more to come with a couple of qualifying races ahead of this glorious backdrop of the medieval old walls of the city of Dubrovnik. It looks so crystal clear, turquoise blue, but Shelley, and this simple looking course is throwing out a bit of a challenge for our pilots.
It's a very simple course and it's a great one to drive for the pilots, but it's the conditions on the sea that are playing havoc with us, with traffic of pleasure boats going by, ferries displacing the water. So yes, quite turbulent for them.
So that's the course they will be taking on. No longer short laps in these qualifying races. UNESCO World Heritage Site of Dubrovnik playing host to us this weekend. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful conditions for the start of these qualifying races. This is how we got here then in the time trials. These are combined times between both pilots, male and female, of our teams on the left hand side. Team Rafa, who are the championship leaders, they were quickest on combined times, and that puts them in pole position for the qualifying race 2. That will come up later on. They'll have Team Brady on their inside, the reigning champions of E1, and Aoki Racing, who sits second in the standings, in third. First up though, we are going to have our race for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Team Brazil will be on pole position for that one alongside Will Smith's Westbrook Racing, Mark Anthony's Team Miami and Didier Drogba's Team Drogba. It will be Oban Duncan will be lining up for Drogba. Perfect conditions. Just coming up to 5 p.m. local time when we will get going with this 6-lap qualifying race, and it will be Timmy Hansen in the race berth for Team Brazil. It will be Lucas Ordóñez in the boat for Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. Eric Stark, the Iceman himself, will take to the boat for Mark Anthony's Team Miami, and the young Scot Oban Duncan will line up on the outside. That is their pilot choice made for the weekend. They will now alternate from here in the qualifying races to tomorrow's group stages, and then on into the finals, the race off in the finals and the place race. Lovely afternoon for it, Shelley, out there on the beach, and it looks like it'd be so serene out on the water, but as you said before, it will throw a challenge out for them in this 6th lap, and with no long or short laps, that makes the start even more important, doesn't it?
Start is crucial because you haven't got that long or short lap to gain or even lose a place if you judge it wrong. So very important, and let's hope the long straight can help them overtake. Yeah,
definitely. We hope that should be the case. And the racing rule applies up to the first set of smart marks that you see. We call them marks Y. And that racing rule, can you just explain what that would mean?
Yes, you must hold your line until they pass that first smart mark. It's a rule and it's very penalised if you break it.
Yeah, we've seen that already, haven't we, in the races. There are our 4 pilots. Timmy Hansen, top left, will have pole. Alongside him will be Lucas Ordóñez in the Westbrook Racing boat. Then it's Eric Stark, who looks cool as he always does. They're up on their files. You haven't to jump the start. You can't get there too early. 5 seconds to go. It's going to be tight for Lucas Ordóñez as they get to the line now. He's just got it, I think, just about right. He rolled off, though, a little bit. I hope he didn't go through under as we get racing here for the first time in Croatia, and it looks like Timmy Hansen has got it just about right down towards the first smart mark. Lucas Ordóñez on his outside, does he have a little bit of boost to go as they head towards 2 now? Timmy Hansen just has his nose in front. They are neck and neck heading out to turn 2 towards Locken Island, but Hansen just has it. He's ahead of Lucas Ordóñez into there, and now Lucas cannot see where he's going. He's in the wash. Who knows? He won't have a clue himself, but he has felt his way around the corner. Eric Stark is is third, and at the back of the field, Oban Duncan in fourth place.
That was a great corner by Timmy in Team Brazil there. He literally put Westbrook into the washing machine, as we said, and that would have really thrown him and gave him the chance to get in front. Brilliant.
Yeah, Team Brazil then lead with Timmy Hansen. Into the final corner they go. That was all important. You could see what Lucas Ordóñez was trying to do in the Westbrook Racing, put the pressure on from the outside, but he had to allow room, didn't he, for Timmy on the inside for Team Brazil. And so it is across the line at the end of our first lap of 6. Timmy Hansen for Team Brazil. On the outside, look at Oban Duncan now on the boost coming out of that final corner, and she's hoping now as she gets down towards turn 1 that she's got the line, she's able to come across. Is Eric Stark going to be able to get on the boost and return the favour down towards turn 1? I think Oban Duncan has done it. That was executed to perfection from the youngster.
Yes, and she can now actually close the door on Team Miami and put him into the washing machine, which will give her a great lead.
See Lucas Ordóñez just trying to get out of the wash. When you have one of these race birds in front of you, just look at all those white choppy waves being thrown up by the race bird in front, and Lucas doing everything he can. Of course, every time he steps out of that wash, it's off the racing line.
It's off the racing line, but he's actually getting clean water, and the race bird is flying better. So sometimes it's better to take a longer route but be in the clean water, exactly as he is doing now.
Heading towards the final set of smart marks on turn 4, and Timmy Hansen, as he goes through there, the lead across the line stood at 4.9 seconds. But we know, don't we, that it's not all done from here. Timmy had a moment when we were in Doha where he caught one of the smart marks. As we see the battle going on at the back between Oban Duncan and behind Eric Stark, they are battling for third place. Now, who's got the boost here? You can see Oban actually out of the corner. There's no boost there for Eric Stark, and Oban Duncan has that inside line now down towards turn 1. So she should have a little bit of something to keep her nose in front as she heads towards that first corner. That was well judged, but she was under pressure from Eric.
She's on the inside line, so she can actually push him out on the corner and actually put him into her dirty water, just as she's done there. Look at Eric struggling through her wash there. So well done, Oban. Nice mover. She's controlling where Eric is going at the moment.
Yeah, that's excellent, isn't it? 19 years of age, Oban Duncan, and racing like a veteran. This is on board with the Team Drogba Racebird. Just look at that, a beautiful bit of kit, and she just dips the inside wing into the water, gets it turned. Oh, a big moment for Eric Stark, and that's the moment with the smart mark, isn't it? We saw Timmy Hansen actually drive over one of those when we were in Doha, and that basically cost them the rest of the weekend with wrapped in their Racebird.
Yeah, Eric is actually struggling back there. He just hasn't got anywhere to go. Look at his vision here. It's like, I can't go out in the clean water. Oban is just controlling me everywhere. She's doing a good job to keep him back there. And
he just can't get any rhythm going, can he, in that wash? So there's a big gap between second and third place, but it's a good battle going on. At the front, what's the gap across the line now? So it's closed in by a couple of tenths. On that last lap, Lucas Ordóñez in second was about a second, 1.8 quicker than Timmy Hansen. So I wonder if Timmy has the wherewithal and the nous. I'm sure he does, a vastly experienced rallycross driver in his own right, but on the water, has he got the nous to keep Lucas Ordóñez at bay? He looks to have kept a little bit of boost in hand, actually, Timmy Hansen, to stretch that gap open. It was 4.1 across the line, and now it's 6 seconds through that second smart mark. Yeah, well, his mission control will be speaking to him all the time, telling him the distance between Brazil and Westbrook, saying, you know, you're holding him off, don't do anything crazy, just bring her home. And that will be the conversations going on now. Look, cool as a cucumber he is. A reminder that the winner of this race will head into the second group when we get to our group stages tomorrow. They'll be in Group 2. They'll be battling with the second and third place Racebirds from the qualifying final, which is coming up next. We are just about halfway through this race now. Timmy Hansen is still leading. In fact, we're just going to come. When they come to the line now, there should be a couple to go as Marit Stromoy, 2 laps remaining, watches on. Good recovery this from Timmy Hansen, having taken advantage of pole position on our 5th lap of 6. and heading out towards turn one. You can see he's just giving himself room there, isn't he, to turn. And
Yeah.
actually, when you're out front like this, you can dictate your line.
Well, we've said it a million times. We're in the clean water. Look at him. Look at his view. He's got nobody in front of him. He's got no whitewash. He's contending with the swirls coming in from the pleasure boats, but he's got a lovely line there, and he is just flying the race boat home.
Ooh. Has he taken the mark on the inside there? No, I think he's missed the mark.
He has.
I think he's missed the smart mark. Not again, I don't believe it. This has happened previously, and I do believe there that he has not taken the right line, and this could change things dramatically. Wow, he was just out comfortably out front here. He's got a 7.9 second lead there, Timmy Hansen, and I believe that he has missed that smart mark.
Do you know what? I thought he missed it on the last lap, Gavin, but I wasn't brave enough to say,
Well,
and I...
Maybe the smart mark has moved. We're being told that they may have moved. Well, it makes things very interesting. Jeff Saltman up there is watching on very, very closely about what's happening here. We'll try and get some communication as soon as we can from race direction. This is our final lap of this qualifying race, and Timmy Hansen has a comfortable lead out front, but there will be a lot of discussion about this one, about what's happened there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the smart mark has moved.
Well, if you look at on our, we've got our track map in front of us, and B1, so there's a B and a B1 smart mark. They should be pretty much next to each other. And if you have a look now, when Timmy rounds the corner, they see how they should be on our virtual map, but actually out on the course themselves, you can see it's moved. It's gone a long, long way. These are controlled by GPS, aren't they, the smart marks? And I've not seen that before, actually. Lucas Ordóñez, meanwhile, is going to take it still.
Yes, I think definitely the GPS has dropped out on that smart mark, and it's gone off for a little wander.
Yeah, and I think actually Lucas didn't go for it on this occasion. We are being told no penalties, nothing to worry about here. Oh, my heart leapt for a moment, and I expect it will have done for Marit Stromoy and the rest of Team Brazil, but it looks like Timmy Hansen has done the job required from pole position in this race. He's going to take victory in the first qualifying race of the afternoon. We'll put them into Group 2 for the rest of the weekend. Through he goes and takes victory in the race. Hopefully we'll get confirmation of that in a second, Shelley, but some worrying moments.
It was a very worrying moment. I would imagine that race control would have been on to mission control, saying, please tell your pilots to actually take the normal course and don't worry about the smart mark that's wandered off.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. Oban Duncan, you've got to give her some credit there for toughing it out with someone with the experience of Eric Stark, and she just got it right out of that final corner. And once she was through, then there was nothing Eric could do. As you said, it was like he was in a washing machine, and he will feel like he's been on a full spin cycle.
Yep, he certainly was. He won't be happy with that for sure, because he's a very cool Iceman and usually a winner.
So, as Eric Stark comes home in fourth place, our race winners in the first qualifying race, Timmy Hansen and Team Brazil. Let's see if we can hear from Timmy as we just catch with Marit Stromoy. Timmy, huge congratulations. That one obviously had the problem with the smart mark back in Doha. This time the smart mark appears to have moved somewhat out at turn 2. Congratulations. Were you aware of that?
So my team was good on the spotting. We had a good start. We built up a solid lead with a comfortable gap. So they told me the buoy was out of place, and then I tried to go around, where it should originally be, but that's so hard to know. Everything's just water, But I tried to, be respectful of the rules because we had enough of a gap. Just like staying solid the entire race. It feels good to be racing side by side. It was some close racing there in the beginning, which I love. I really enjoyed this one. It was a nice, comeback, nice way to feel that we got the performance in race pace, even though we didn't have the best qualifying before. So a bit bummed that we didn't get into the fast 5 in qualifying, but this is still a good end to the day, and the race is far from over, so we're going to come back as strong as we can.
Still a long way to go. Congratulations, Timmy. Yeah, well done to Team Brazil. What a performance in the end. And I have to say, not just from him, from the whole team, the fact that they were in his ear from Mission Control to give him the information. Jeff Saltman, very happy with that. But they deserve some credit too, Shelley.
Yeah, that was excellent teamwork. I would like to know if Mission Control or if Race Control tell Mission Control that the mark's moved, or are Mission Control allowed to tell their driver direct, their pilot direct, that the mark has moved? I have to look up on the rules on that one.
Anyway, whichever way it happened, it feels like it worked out for the best in the end, and everyone came home safely. Owen Duncan, she comes up to the launch zone. Excellent, wasn't it, from the young Scot? Well, Lucas Ordonez did what he could, didn't he? Tried to apply the pressure down into turn one, but it wasn't to be. And Timmy Hansen and Team Brazil run out victorious in the first of the qualifying races, ahead of Will Smith's Team Westbrook Racing and Lucas Ordonez. They will also head into the second half of the draw for the group stages alongside Team Brazil. Team Drogba, by finishing there in 8th place, will head actually into the first groups, so they'll be alongside whoever wins the qualifying race later, but they'll be on the outside for that one. And Team Miami at the back, that puts them into the second half of the draw, but they'll be on the outside with Eric Stark, and it just wasn't to be. It feels like, again, a couple of those boats there for Team Drogba, Team Miami, maybe overnight, maybe with a chance to change prop, maybe with a change in a little bit in the setup, they can turn around their weekend.
Yes, because setup can change now. Pilot choice can't. We have chosen our pilot sort of alternate motion now, as it were. It's very difficult to explain. The pilots now have to race alternatively. They cannot switch around. So whichever pilot they've chosen for the last race, it now goes back to back.
So as you can see, the launch zone set up on the edges of the old town here. Beautiful town of Dubrovnik here on the Adriatic coast of Croatia. And I'm pleased to say that we have Taylor Snyder with us down on the launch zone, and I do believe that she's been able to collar Lucas Ordonez after that tricky race there.
Lucas, what a qualifying session that was. Tell me what happened out there.
Well, that was intense. I knew I had Timmy on my left-hand side on the pole, on the first position from Brazil. I knew he was going to be tough. He's a good starter. We used to have a very, very good starts. Again, my team, Westbrook Racing, gave me a good number for the countdown and to nail the start. I left it a little bit because I thought I was jumping the start. And then I tried to fight with Timmy in the first corner. We were very close each other. We were side by side. We almost touched foils, but yeah, Timmy is a good racer. I love to race with him, and I couldn't overtake him. And then you are just a passenger, no? With the dirty water, all the spray you get from the race bird in front of you. I tried hard in a different boost strategy than him, and then I saw that he was jumping a buoy. I was reporting, he's jumping a buoy, penalty, blah, 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 as me as always. But apparently the buoy moved, so he could jump the buoy legally. And yeah, then I tried to do my best, keep calm and defend from the guys behind. But yeah, second position is not that bad, and we're still on it for tomorrow.
Absolutely, and you were speaking with your teammate Sarah right before this. She told you to give it all the beans, so now it's up to her, right, to pull those beans out again. Oh yeah, no, Sarah is always like that. She's a mega supporter. She always keeps positive, not like me. I sometimes push myself too much and the team, but yeah, happy to, I'm sure she will do great tomorrow, and let's keep fighting. Great result today in second.
Thank you.
Good to hear Lucas upbeat there and enjoying the battle between himself and Timmy, and it was so crucial in that first corner. They did fight it out there, and yeah, he did everything he could. It wasn't to be in the end, and a little bit confusion about the smart marks. So I think we can see Taylor has moved along the launch zone now, and he's down there with Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising, and John Peters is about to head out.
John Peters, I'm down here. Look, you have your helmet in hand. You're ready to get into the boat. We've had our first group go out. What are your expectations? What are you ready to give it?
Well, I'm 5th place on the outside. I was just told 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to have to cut this short. But I have nothing to lose, and not in a bad way, but in a very positive way, so we can go ahead and push the line. A lot of the starts with the new starting procedures where we are allowed to change lines partially after the start-finish line, it rewards a good start. But most of these people are very good starters, so we'll see how it ends up. It's pure racing, no short lap, no long lap on this film, or on this this round. So we'll just go with raw pace, and if we can get top 3, I'm going to be very happy. If we gain a position, then I'll be also very happy.
Excellent. I'll let you get into your boat. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Down towards the first. So we're ready now for the qualifying race final, and before jumping in his race bird, Rusty Wyatt's been talking to Taylor on the launch zone.
Rusty, you're about to head out for qualifying, and I know that we were watching the race earlier, watching your competitors in their time trials. Where they were using the boost was a little bit different. What's your strategy for boost?
Yeah, we've been counting down for this moment. We talked about this boost strategy. It's been struggle all week. We still trying to figure out the correct points, but I think qualifying and race, the boost strategy is going to be quite a bit different, and I think we got a good game plan here. We just hope they get a good start and get the Team Alula boat out front.
Excellent. Well, I'll let you get in your boat. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Was Taylor Snyder down there with Rusty Wyatt before getting in LeBron James. Team Alula, a race bird. They are actually already out on the water. A reminder, we've got a 6-lap qualifying race which will decide our pole position, and crucially there are points up for grabs. 3 points for the winner of this qualifying race, 2 for second place and 1 for third. You've got Tom Schaap in the Team Rafa race bird. He's heading up in the inside lane in lane 1, and alongside Emma Kimilainen, who's the fastest of the 2 pilots for Tom Brady's squad. Then it's Danny Kloss for Aoki Racing in lane 3. We've just heard from Rusty Wyatt there in lane 4 for Team Alula, and Virat Kohli's Blue Rising on the outside with John Peters, who we heard from before, and he said he has nothing to lose and he's really going to go for it. He nailed the starts when we were back in Qatar, and I wonder if he can carry some of that form through to this race. We're on board with him now, Shelley, and it was interesting when he was saying to Taylor, basically, if I get a penalty, I get a penalty. He's going to run it tight here. It's a tactic that paid off in Doha.
He's going to run it very tight, I think, and it will be very interesting to watch. He knows how important the clean water is, and he wants it.
Vastly experienced powerboat racer himself, John Peters, a really good character to have around the E1 paddock. Was a team principal recently, previously, and now is inside the race bird. You can see all the boats in the milling zone. Now this is where they're all jockeying for a little bit of position. You've got to get in your lane though. You cannot encroach on anybody's lane. You've got to give each other room. There's Emma Kimilainen in Team Brady, and it's going to be down to that turn 1 again, isn't it, Shelley? All important to get that line, get the inside as much as you can.
But you must hold your line to that first mark.
Here we go then. They're starting to roll up towards the line. I'm expecting to see John Peters suddenly appear on the boost from the outside. In fact, look at him, top right in the picture is on the boost. It looks like Rusty Wyatt as well. He's got a little bit of a tactic going as the clock ticks down. I think Rusty Wyatt has got it absolutely spot on here as they cross the finish line, start line now. Rusty Wyatt could have got this one right, and as they head down, he's got more than a boat's length on his inside. He's not able to, is he? From lane 4, he has taken the lead at the first smart mark, and that gets very tight in there on the inside. Tom Schaap in Team Rafa's boat has gone through, but Rusty Wyatt from nowhere has taken charge of this race.
That was absolutely fantastic there. Look how this neck and neck on board with the Aoki there.
Foil to foil, wing to wing it was between Tom Schaap and Team Rafa, and Danny Kloss tried it. He got on the boost, but incredibly Tom Schaap stays ahead, but at the front Rusty Wyatt for Team Alula. Now this changes the whole focus of the weekend all of a sudden. From 4th they had a tactic. Did someone go the wrong side of that smart mark? No, I think it was Danny Kloss just trying to get the inside line on the run towards the final set of smart marks into the final turn. So at the front it's still Team Alula in second place. Who's got the inside there? Oh, it's Danny Kloss. He took to the inside, got on the boost, and now he has got the inside through that final turn. And for Tom Schaap, it's not quite working here. He's under pressure from John Peters. Suddenly, when he hasn't got the clear water in front of him, the game has changed for Tom Schaap. He's on the boost now.
Oh, this is so exciting. This is absolutely neck and neck racing between them, foil to foil. Look at them fighting for the next corner.
But he can't turn in, can he, to Danny Kloss? Has he got enough room, though? Had a little bit of boost to tip down, and he has reclaimed the position. Just enough in front of Danny Kloss. So second place taken by Team Rafa and Tom Schaap. Once more, it's neck and neck this race. And at the front, this all helps Rusty Wyatt in LeBron James Team Alula. I'll remind you, they have not been in this position. They've not been They finished 7th in the first 2 rounds of this championship, and this puts them in a great position heading forward.
He is doing so well. His start was unbelievable. He got in front, he timed his start line absolutely spot on, and then he could move across the rest of the fleet and just literally whitewash them all.
Yeah, he needed more than a boat's length. He had about 4 boat lengths in front of all the rest. He just nailed the start, and it has changed the complexion of this race.
And now he's in the clean water and he is just gliding through. He is driving that race bird.
Danny Kloss, we're on board with him in the Aoki Racing Dragon, the race bird. A beautiful pink livery on that race bird, and he's there in 3rd, and he's in turn now going to come under pressure from John Peters, although John just took a whole gulpful of whitewash in front of him, and that's really going to affect his run down towards turn 1. Look how choppy it is when you're in the middle of a race.
Yeah, as we said, it's, you know, it's a totally different ball game when you're out there all together fighting for that clean water, because there isn't a lot of it out there. And you have got to find that line. See there, Team Rafa are just moving. They need to just move over a little bit, get out of the white bit.
Yeah, that might give a little inkling, a little door ajar perhaps for Aoki Racing behind as they close in up towards turn 2. No such problems for Rusty Wyatt out front for LeBron James's Team Alula. This is wonderful to see the turnaround. If they can pick up their first pole position, their first 3 points in just their 3rd race, excellent it would be from the Canadian-American. Rusty is having a superb qualifying race here on the Adriatic coast here in the old town of Dubrovnik. Just look at the city behind, beautiful scenes. And I'll tell you what, it will all taste sweet tonight for Team Alula if they can bring this home. But still, there is a way to go in this race. We're just coming up to the halfway point. 3 laps down, 3 to go. Cross out to the final corner, across the line for Rusty Wyatt now. The gap behind him to Tom Schaap stands as they cross the line. Is that going to be 5 seconds? It was. What's it going to be when they come across? Yeah, still, it's now at 7.4 seconds. Oh, wait a second, Danny Kloss has suddenly got through. Now we've got the boost coming back from Rafa, and he has just regained that position from him. But very briefly then, I think we might have lost some transponder or something from Rafa's boat, because suddenly on the timing they're at the back of the field. But trust me when I say on the water that Tom Schaap is in 2nd place in this race. For a moment I thought that Danny Kloss had done another move. John Peters is lurking, you know, all the while for Virat Kohli's Blue Rising.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The battle for second, literally 2nd, 3rd, 4th there, it could go either way. But as you can see, they've got to get into the clean water. These race birds love clean water.
I think Danny Kloss is about to do it. Look him take to the left here, trying to get as much clean water as possible. Right on that wake almost.
But he's also trying to fight with Team Blue Rising and keep him out, so he just doesn't know where to go.
That was Michel Alovadan, Danny Kloss's teammate for Aoki Racing, watching on from Mission Control. John Peters is having an excellent ride here. I have to say, he's there at the back. He's in, it's like whitewater rapids in front of him. I'm not sure how much fun it'll be. I'd be a bit seasick if I were him out there. But he is bouncing his way and still keeping himself in touch.
He looks very calm, actually. He doesn't look ruffled by it at all. But
closing in here on the boost.
He is closing in on Aoki all of the time.
But he's just going to be on the wrong side, isn't he, as they head down towards turn 1 once more. Look at this, from on board Aoki Racing. That's John Peters in Virat Kohli's boat alongside. He's just not going to have the line. Almost collide in there. But John Peters again trying to go high. Oh, he got contact. Contact between the Aoki Racing and the Blue Rising boat out towards turn 2. And is there a little bit of boost now for John Peters? He can't turn in there, I wouldn't have thought, but he does across the nose. Did he leave enough room? I think so. I think he has. And Danny Kloss catches a wave on the inside. John Peters super aggressive, and now he does have the inside line down towards turn 3. Excellent stuff. What a race we've got here.
That just goes to show if you can get the race bird into the clean water, you can actually get more speed.
And I don't think the race is done at the front either. As we cross the line with 1 lap to go, the gap is closing rapidly between Team Alula and Team Rafa. It was 2 seconds a moment ago. Alula on the boost now, Rafa on the boost now. 5 seconds the gap, still the battle rages for 3rd place. as Alula come across the line for LeBron James. There is 1 lap remaining. On to the final lap we go of this race, and even Emma Kymäläinen here in the Team Brady boat, she can smell a bit of blood in the water perhaps with Danny Kloss under pressure from John Peters. Again, this is on board with Virat Kohli's Blue Rising boat, and again we're going to get contact. This is what we want to see. Isn't he one fantastic? When we are going foil to foil down towards turn 1, and I'm sure Peters here will run wide and try and make... Oh, we've had contact! We've had contact there, and suddenly John Peters stopped completely, and around the outside, Danny Kloss was able to regain 3rd spot.
Aoki Racing and Team Blue Rising, you couldn't get a better battle than this. They are literally foil to foil, swapping places.
They are knocking lumps out of each other in their race birds. What did John Peters say with a smile on his face, like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth? Oh, we're just going to give it a go, nothing to lose. Well, we could see that. The clubs have come off here in the sunshine, the late evening sunshine in Croatia. As we come to the final corner, we've had a belter of a qualifying race, but for the first time, LeBron James, Team Alula, surely is going to take pole position. A little bit of bouncing as he heads towards the line, but Rusty Wyatt, the gap closes all the while to the line, but he is going to get there just. It was all down to the first corner. Rusty Wyatt takes pole for Team Alula. 2nd place for the championship leaders, Team Rafa. That gives them 2 points, and a single point for Aoki Racing in 3rd place, but Danny Kloss was made to work for it. Oh, across the line, John Peters, is he going to hang on to 4th? I think so. He took 4th place by just 0.3 of a second from Emma Kymäläinen and Tom Brady. Wow, what a qualifying race.
Emma Kymäläinen thought she had Team Blue Rising then. She thought he's lost concentration. I'm a-coming.
Wonder what happened in turn 1 there in the coming together. We were on board with him, and suddenly it was wipeout, wasn't it, for John Peters and Blue Rising. What about the job, though, that Rusty Wyatt's done, not only at the start, but then to control the rest of that 6-lap race, Shelley?
Team Alula just nailed that from the start. That was absolutely textbook. That first start line into that first corner, well done. But the battle between Aoki and Team Blue Rising, will there be any penalties given, I wonder?
I hope not, because I love watching that, enjoyed every moment. Let's see if we can speak to Rusty Wyatt. Down in Team Alula, LeBron James's boat, Rusty Wyatt. What about that start? And then controlling the race from the front. How much did you enjoy taking your first pole position in the E1 series?
Oh, absolutely incredible. We came up with that strategy with our great race engineer Barney and just executed it perfectly. It felt so good to get to that first turn first, and man, that's just the beginning for Team Alula here. We're here with season 1, Team Alula, LeBron James. We're going to make an impact around here.
Huge congratulations on that first pole position, Rusty. Well done. Go and enjoy that one. Superb performance, the strategy that the team came up with. I mean, the strategy was just getting the boost at the right moment and having enough drive. They were sat actually quite close to the start line, were they? I noticed before. And so they didn't have as much of a run to get there. And whatever the strategy was, it worked.
It worked beautifully, and I think maybe the shorter the run to the start line, the better, because you've got less time for error.
We are hearing there has been a penalty, not for Rusty Wyatt, you'll be pleased to know. Not so great for Team Blue Rising, a 20-second penalty for John Peters for contact in that, is what I'm hearing from race control. So, yeah, we thought something may be coming here and there.
I did think that, to be honest, Gavin, and that was quite a battle. It was a real dice for position.
Let's see. We just see the celebrations, Team Rusty Wyatt and Katie Munnings down there taking that pole position. He deserves the pat on the head there, doesn't he, Rusty, from Katie? Huge congratulations to the pair of them. Oh, that's lovely to see, isn't it?
I knew I was feeling good this weekend.
Oh,
Third race, we got it. Third time's the charm, they said.
Absolutely. The maple leaf on his belt there for Rusty.
What a race. We spoke right before, and my goodness, you pulled it off. That strategy really paid.
Yeah, like I said, we've been working on that strategy all week, and we qualified fourth, but I thought we had a little bit more for them in the qualifying. We needed a couple more laps, so we, coming from fourth to first in the first qualifying race, we got 3 good points, and I'm quite happy with that.
Obviously, your teammate is very excited as well. You guys really had something to give, and he pulled it out.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Do you know, it was so funny. I was stood watching on the corner, and a massive yacht went past. I didn't see anything. I just saw Rusty coming up the straight, and I'm like, I think he's in front. And then we saw the next corner, and you were miles in front.
Oh,
it's insane.
Worked perfect. Executed perfectly.
Now you have the target on your back going into tomorrow. What is that going to feel like?
Well, it's going to be a little easier starting from the front row, or the lane one, I guess you could call it. And I'm quite excited for tomorrow. Obviously, we're going to take a lot from today and go over the data with our engineer that kind of gave us this plan to start with the way we started, and couldn't be more excited for how the weekend's begun. We got one more day to finalize the deal.
Excellent. Congrats today, guys.
Thank you.
Huge job. Thanks to Taylor for that with Rusty, Wyatt and Katie Munnings. Everyone seems psyched down there as Tom Schaap and Danny Kloss have a little bit of a debrief down there. They came close at one point. I'm so intrigued to hear what Danny Kloss and John Peters have to say, because we know for John Peters it was a case of, I'm just going for it.
Yeah, there's going for it, and there's actually breaking the rules and having contact. So clearly the race director has looked at that and thought this is a bit too much. But
which one? I mean, I want to know which one the penalty was for, because there were a few moments.
Yeah, that's questionable, I have to say, because I think they were both as bad as each other. I mean, it was literally like, neck and neck.
No quarters given on either side.
They were swapping paintwork.
Oh,
yes.
look, they're embracing. I've just seen them embracing each other down there on the launch zone. So
that's better than punching each other.
Right, let's have it. See, Taylor is down there between them. Let's see if she's got to separate them or not.
Well, the guys are down here discussing what happened. Let me put a microphone so the rest of us can hear what was going on out there.
Fine. Danny's just an awful driver. He ran right into me.
Oh, I guess fights, and there's a moment when you're side by side that you think you have the control, but when a big wave comes, then your calculations in your mind that he was there or I was here, completely gone. So
yeah, we have these are 10 feet wide. We gave 10 feet 2 inches. So you got to do that. You got to pass, and unfortunately my pass didn't stick. Well done. But I did get back to you once. Yeah. So you're in the Rafa's wake, and I tried to pin him in there to you, and it worked momentarily.
I think it's been one of the first hard overtakings that we had, like this year or last year even. So it was a good fight at the end with some contact. We don't like contact, but at the end we're good. So
it is what it is.
They say rubbing is racing, but that was truly a race for the fans. It's really something to be excited about for tomorrow. Are we going to see anything else like that?
I hope not. Not like that.
I'm going to be just way out ahead. I'll pass Danny. I'll wave to him when I lap him. How about that?
Try.
Okay.
That's right.
What about the penalty that was offered?
Penalty. See, this is new news to me. What else? What other news you got?
I have heard there is a penalty in place, 20 seconds.
On me?
Yes.
Well, bummer.
Any thoughts?
I would have to identify which corner that is, and then make my thoughts present at that point in time. So I'm not sure. I thought there was a lot of hard racing, but both yet to be determined.
All right. Well, excellent job, gentlemen out there. Good racing.
Thank you.
Ooh, I think it was a bit frosty at the end. I do love John Peters, though. He was just loving it more than anything. It could have been for any number of corners. On this one here, I'm assuming that the idea is that John Peters basically hasn't turned. I'm assuming that's what they're saying, Shelley.
Yeah.
Never assume, they say, of course, but...
No, I can't quite make that out. You are allowed to push your race boat. You can push them out, you can close the door. But I'd need to look at them all in slow motion, and I'd like to think what the director's thinking.
Well, that's your evening decided anyway, Shelley. Let's have a listen to what Tom Schaap, second for Team Rafa, what he has to say about that qualifying race.
Tom, you just heard the guys next to your competitors having it out on what a race that was. And I asked, could you see what was behind you? Or are you all eyes on the guy in front of you?
No, of course I watching also behind because it was a bit war there. I took not really good start. I mean, I really take the big waves, so I jump a lot in the first straight. And Rusty are able to pass me, and at the end was a bit tight with Danny, and we touch a bit also. But at the end, I catch up Danny. I overtake Danny. Also, Rusty was. I was a bit faster in the pace, but yeah, front, so we were not able to overtake him. But with short lap and long lap tomorrow, we'll be okay. So that's okay.
If you had 2 more laps, 3 more laps, do you think you could have overtaken?
Yeah, I think I was closer at the end, of course, but I don't know if Rusty, because Rusty is a really great driver as well. So it was a good fighting. I think I was a bit faster at the end, and maybe can I have an attack at the end, but anyway, it's done. Now we have to be focused on tomorrow.
Excellent. Congratulations on a great finish today.
Yeah, good job from Tom Schaap. Just got the wash, got the waves on the start, and yeah, was unable to essentially get the power down to the water. And Rusty made his way through on the outside. So great, no doubt about it. Rusty Wyatt nailed that start. Whatever the strategy was, got it absolutely spot on, and that's why they took victory. Team Alula, championed by LeBron James in the qualifying races here at the E1 Dubrovnik GP, and they take 3 points to their account, which actually will move them up a spot in the championship ahead of Team Miami. Team Rafa still the championship leaders. They now move on to 74 with Aoki Racing behind them on 70 points, 2 for second and 1 for third. There we are, confirmation of those points being added. Blue Rising fourth. If that stays, we'll see. They have been relegated down to 5th place with the penalty, but I'm sure there'll be appeals, counter appeals, that kind of thing. So we'll let you know how that fares as the rest of the evening goes on, as the sun drops in the sky. Look at it shimmering on the beachfront there. That's how the championship stands on our qualifying day done. Team Rafa pick up those 2 points to extend their lead to 4 over Aoki Racing. And Team Alula move ahead of Team Miami into 7th, but they've in a really good position heading towards race day Saturday here at the E1 Dubrovnik GP, presented by Adriatic Luxury Hotels. We hope you've enjoyed our day of qualifying, but there's a lot more where that came from in our race on Saturday.